Hi, I'm Kell from Promenaid, and today we're going to see how to install handrail and guardrail on Promenaid posts. If you watched the previous video on how to install the Promenaid Sprocketlock Post base, you know what we've done here. This is a Promenaid Schedule 40 post in a Sprocketlock post base that's been installed on a concrete slab. And in the previous video, the concrete was angled at 5 degrees to simulate a ramp. But what we've done is loosen the bolts attaching the base to the concrete and reinstall the post so that it is vertical when the concrete is at a horizontal location. So with the post vertical on our horizontal concrete slab, we added a second post, and now we're ready to make a crossbar along the top. Before we install a top bar between these two posts, we need to install a Promenaid pipe connector in each of the posts. So the pipe connector has these little ribs that are going to go inside the post and grab on the inside to hold it securely. First step, place the connector inside the post and tap it down with a plastic or rubber mallet. These connectors have a toothed gear on them and a V-groove just below the gear. And we're going to tap it down until only the V-groove is exposed. Now you can do that with the hammer alone, or if you happen to have one of our T brackets that fit on top of a post, you can use this as an installation tool and guide. I'm just going to hold it on with my hands while I tap it down. When the T bracket is in place and there's very little gap between it and the post, you know you've gone far enough. You can tap it sideways to release it. And there's your pipe connector in the post with just the V-groove and the toothed wheel exposed. The final step is to tighten the screw that creates a force outwardly on those ribs inside, retain the pipe connector inside the Schedule 40 pipe. I'm using a small socket wrench, but you can use a big one. You really can't break this thing. You want to tighten it as tight as you possibly can with your hand. Okay, that should do it. The ribs inside have expanded to grab the inside of the post. The connector is in place with the toothed wheel and the V-groove exposed. And we're going to repeat that on the other post so that we're ready to install the top bar. And we're ready for the next step. The 90-degree bends are made in two pieces that clamp together with cap screws. And each one of the pieces has a V channel that will engage with the V groove in the pipe connector. They also have little bumps that are going to engage with the teeth on the pipe connector. So when the two halves clamp together on the pipe connector, it'll be held in place and the teeth will prevent rotation. We're going to install one of these at either end with a piece of pipe in between. To do that, we're going to need to put pipe connectors in each end of the pipe. But first, we have to make sure that the pipe is the right length. I'm measuring between the two posts. In this case, we have 29 inches from the inside surface to inside surface. Each one of our 90-degree bends is going to stick out 1.5 inches from the inside surface. So the piece of pipe that we need to go between the two vertical posts is going to be 3 inches shorter than the inside dimension. In this case, that's 29. So we need a pipe that's 26 inches in length. This pipe has been cut to 26 inches, so we're ready to install the pipe connectors on the pipe in order to attach them to the vertical posts. Our 26-inch piece of Schedule 40 pipe has the two pipe connectors installed and tightened, and we're ready to attach it to the two vertical posts with our 90-degree bends. You can place the 90-degree bends on the post, and they should hold there temporarily while we get the crossbar in place. Got the second halves fitted. I like to use a 5/32 or 4 millimeter ball head Allen key to drive these cap screws. You can use a regular Allen key, but the ball-headed Allen key makes it go a lot faster and a lot easier. And with the second bend in place, everything is locked tight, and you've got yourself a nice guardrail. Just like with the caps on the post bases, these little plastic plugs go in, but they don't come out. So when you're 100% satisfied with the installation, put the caps in place, and you're done. To install the crossbar, we're going to use a Promenaid T-connector, which is a fitting that will go on the side of the pipe, the vertical pipe, and provide an attachment point for the horizontal pipe. The T-connector is supplied with a self-drilling screw. It's going to go through the connector and into the pipe. So all we have to do now is measure how high on the inside of the pipe we want to attach this connector. I've made a little mark here at 16 inches, and that's where we're going to start drilling. So this screw has a hex head. I've got a good quality cordless drill with a hex driver. It goes right through the end of the fitting and into my mark on the side of the pipe. Well, that's connector number 1 attached. We'll do one on the other side, and then we'll put the crossbar between them. The length of the crossbar is the same as that of the top bar, which is 3 inches shorter than the inside dimension of the 2 vertical posts. So I've got a piece here that's cut to 26 inches, and it's already got the pipe connectors fit in the ends. We're ready to install it on the T-connections that have been attached to the post with self-drilling screws. We can put one end at a time in place. And to attach the T-connectors to the crossbar, we're going to use a Promenaid Sprocketlock fitting. This is like a bend, but it's a 0-degree bend, and we call it a collar. Put the collar in place, clip the bar in place, the other half there, and put in the cap screw. Without tightening it fully, the crossbar should be stable enough that we can go and install the one on the other side. I've got another collar. Now, all of these bends and collars can be fit in either direction so that the cap screws and the caps can be oriented towards a wall or an area that's less visible. So in this case, I've put them face backwards. I'm happy with the installation. I'm going to tighten up the screws. And the guardrail with horizontal crossbar is complete. So we've installed this guardrail with horizontal crossbar on vertical posts on a horizontal surface. But as we saw in an earlier video, with the Promenaid Sprocketlock adjustable post bases, you can have vertical posts on an angled surface, like a 5-degree slope, for example. If you are installing an arrangement like this on an angled surface, the posts are vertical, but these components would be angled to match the ramp. And to do that, you might add a 5-degree bend to the 90-degree bend at the top, and another one going the other way at the bottom to tilt the top bar to match the angle of the ramp. The same way, on the horizontal piece, you would use, rather than a 0-degree bend, also known as a collar, a 5-degree bend to connect the horizontal piece to the T-connector to the vertical post. So with the 5-degree bends, these top and middle pieces will follow the slope of the ramp, and you can use any other bend that Promenaid makes in any combination, 5 degree, 0 degree, 14 degree, 32 degree, or 90 degree, in any combination to achieve the desired angles. We've been building this guardrail using Promenaid's Schedule 40 anodized aluminum pipe, which is strong and simple, and it's great for vertical posts, horizontal crossbars, and top bars on guardrail. But if you want to make a longer handrail, perhaps with multiple posts, and you want to have the advantages of the Promenaid patented Channelgrip railing, you can use that with Schedule 40 posts as well. This is a Channelgrip railing. It has a full-length channel that we use to clip brackets, end caps, even LED lights. And the bends and fittings in the sprocket lock system work with the Channelgrip railing as well. But rather than using a pipe connector, we're going to install a Channelgrip connector at the end of this railing to be able to attach to the 90-degree bend at this end. And at this end, we're going to use a T-bracket to suspend the Channelgrip handrail above the Schedule 40 pipe. This is a Channelgrip connector. It has the same tooth gear and V-groove as a pipe connector, but rather than clamping on the inside of the pipe, it clips into the channel, slides into the channel of the Channelgrip railing, and attaches with 3 set screws that we supply. The first set screw to install is the one on the end. I'm going to put it in place. Use an electric screwdriver to drive it in securely. That screw will pull the connector into the correct alignment with the pipe, and now we can install the 2 other set screws on the bottom. The Channelgrip connector has been installed on the Channelgrip railing. Now we can use a 90-degree bend to attach the 2 connectors together and attach the railing to the post. When we put in these cap screws, we'll tighten them just enough so the railing holds temporarily in place, but not so tight that we won't be able to adjust it to the correct angle to match the other post. This is a sprocket lock T-bracket. It has many uses, including on a knee wall, or you can install it on a vertical wall for a vertical grab bar. But we're going to use it today, and it's probably the most common application, which is at the top of a vertical post. The T-bracket is made in 2 pieces that clamp together with a socket screw, like the other sprocket lock components. The first piece we're going to slide in place on the top of the post and into the channel. And then the second part is going to angle in place from behind, and we're going to kind of wiggle the 2 halves together until they're in alignment and we're able to add the socket screw to pull them together completely. When we tighten the socket screw, not only will the 2 halves of the T-bracket grip tightly on the pipe connector, but the head of the T-bracket is going to expand inside the channel and grip the Channelgrip railing very tightly as well. So when this is fully tightened, it's solid and wiggle-free. You could use a Schedule 40 pipe to make a handrail as well. Instead of a T-bracket, you could use a T-connector on the bottom of the Schedule 40 pipe to attach additional posts. But the advantage of the T-bracket is not only easy installation, as you've seen, but the fact that you can glide your hand easily over the top of it, just like the L brackets that we use to attach handrail to the wall. To complete this installation, we would add vinyl anti-slip extrusion underneath the railing, which just clips in place. And as I said earlier, you could even add LED lights, but that's a subject for another video. Thanks for watching.